Parkinson's is a wolf because there's no predictability. You may say that you study wolves and you find them very predictable and you can follow their behavior perfectly. But I'm speaking in metaphors, not literally. Literalists are ruining the world. They don't see the context. The references to things like mythology, like in Twilight when Edward tells Bella, I want to kill you, and I don't know if I can control myself. He's speaking of desire, devouring, petite mort. He's not talking literally like I'm going to kill you because I'm a vampire. Or is he? I looked at it like a metaphor. Otherwise, I couldn't get through the book. I didn't get through the book. I think I just watched the movie on that one. However, I watched this thing called Contra Points. This wonderful narrator goes through the details of Twilight so perfectly. A friend gave this to me when I recommended The Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling as a podcast. Listen. And I'm going to tell you all here, please do give a listen to The Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling. It's fascinating. Everyone wants to chime in, including J.K. And she's allowed to chime in as a human being, separate from the novels she wrote. Burning her books is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. From the fundamentalists on the left and the fundamentalists on the right, the I'm right and you're wrong crowd, the shamers, the self-righteous, crazy, dividing, bizarre, ignorant people. I say this because extremists and literalists are ruining the world. So come back to the center with me for a little journey. I'm drawing this from a place of extreme agony. I haven't been able to sleep for years, actually. I would say days. And years sounds dramatic, but it's true. If I can sleep a 3-hour stretch, it's a miracle. 3 hours? Oh, wow, what a relief. To wake and look at the clock and say, wow, that was solid, is unusual. Intermittently throughout the night, I'm up because, well, I'm stiff as a board. I'm experiencing dystonia, bradykinesia, paralytic like freezing. Think of the worst Charlie horse you ever had in your soccer games, and then multiply that by about 50. And now make it permanent, like it just keeps coming back. And you know that every little thing could set it off. Of course you want to work out like an animal, like a vampire, like a werewolf. Of course you want to be a beast in the gym, if you have access to a gym. If you can get in the gym without using a scooter or a wheelchair, God bless you. I tried to go to a place where I would pay for massages, and after I told the owners of this massage place that I couldn't get in there, that I had had back surgery, I actually called them from the hospital. I was laying there for 3 weeks, almost. It seemed like 3 weeks, doing rehab from back surgery. They continued to charge me for monthly massages. Why is this relevant to this conversation? Because people don't realize the wolf. They don't see that Parkinson's is disabling. They see you when you're up and about or when you're moving fairly well because that's when you leave your house. And they assume that you're always like that because consistency is normal. They're in this normal range of capability. I'm here to tell you Parkinson's is outside of anything normal. My cat agrees. Right on cue. Yeah, this little black cat, he's so damn cute. He's got these bright green eyes. I don't let him out near Halloween, let me tell you. There are a lot of signs around this town for black cats right now. What the heck are people doing? That is absolutely insane. I really love upstate New York. It's a beautiful place. The crisp fall air is upon us. My next door neighbor built me shelves for my bedroom wall that we're installing today. What a great craftsman. These are extraordinary. I mean, I got such a deal. Been so kind. I've had people taking care of me on and off. I've had surgeries and all kinds of delays. I now have a scooter that is automated. Like I can press a button and move forward like a hare or like a little tortoise, I guess. And it's got a horn. You can't make this shit up. Who knew? I'd be riding around a scooter. My friend Chris sent me tassels. I'm like, ooh, what are these for? Oh, my scooter. Okay, this sounds great. I opened the door. My cat is so happy to see the other cats outside. There's frost on the ground. The deer are becoming more visible as the forests recede. They come right up to you. Sorry, but if you're a deer hunter, I don't know what to say. It's not really hunting. These animals are they're pretty tame around here. Not that I get close to them. They will show you that they're wild pretty quickly, as with raccoons and everything else. They look so darn cute, though. It's a different world here. The pool was put to rest. We have so much to be grateful for here because my family's here. But I do miss California. I miss the days of being a West Coast werewolf. But in all seriousness, what makes you stronger can almost kill you. To rephrase that. There have been too many times when I've been close to death, including in the hospital. I was never in more danger than when I was in the emergency room. To be mischaracterized, to be misread, misunderstood in that way is absolutely life-threatening. And that's the reason why I keep talking about Parkinsons and giving information about the situation here. I went to a reunion. I actually crashed it. It was the reunion for 1989. And while I was there, everyone was so surprised I was walking. Do you know how many medications required of me to do that? Do you know how many medications I took that evening? Well, they crashed later on that night, and I could barely get out the door, which must have appeared like inebriation to the untrained eye, but it certainly was not. Everybody has their own mind, their own stories, their own story on everybody else. They love to fill in the gaps and think that they know someone. But I have a great idea. It's better to just ask the person directly if you've got something to say that you just can't help. I don't make assumptions about people when I see them. I had a stalker follow me into a restaurant once, and I stood next to a bunch of other people who were also disabled, and their carers were very sus on me. They're very suspicious. But they actually saved me from this guy who kept videotaping me. I mean, he was just like recording my movements as I walked to the car. The only story I could develop out of that would be maybe he thought I was drunk. I have no idea. My movements are jaggy and janky. It would make a lot of sense. Well, to him, I say this. So there, mister, get out of the way. Get out the way, move. Yeah. There's a beautiful, beautiful red tree out my window. It's a Japanese maple. Belongs to my great neighbors. On the other side, I have a neighbor who is so incredibly suspicious. She peers through the blinds and watches our every movement if we have somebody in the driveway. She'll call the police if you park in front of or anywhere near her yard. She acts like she's in Fort Knox and being constantly attacked. She tells stories to people. She wears these weird outfits and pretends she's someone else. I know she needs help. I took her flowers once and said, hey, you okay? I check on her if I don't see her in a few days. And she yells at me to get off her lawn. Quite literally. That now I'm being literal. Like, she actually says, get off my lawn. You can't... Truth is so much funnier than fiction. But my point is, like, there are people who are disturbed, you know? It's not that they hate you. It's not personal. That's for sure. Across the street is a friend's mom. I go see her once in a while. She's really fantastic. She's really funny. What a sense of humor. You'd have to have a sense of humor to live alone all these years, to have raised 5 children, and to be alone in a house where you raised your babies with all those echoes, maybe a couple cats. Are we all headed to Grey Gardens? I sure hope not. But to end this in a way that makes a little bit of sense, perhaps, this long trajectory of random thoughts. I'm so incredibly grateful to my ex-husband, to all the people who've helped me, to my children, to my family, to my brothers, my sister-in-laws, my nieces and nephews, my mother, who I promised I would take care of when my father was dying. I leaned into my father and I said, Dad, we'll take care of Mom. If you want to go, you can. You don't have to, but if you really want to, and if that's what you're concerned about, we'll take care of her. I was supposed to take care of her. And my father died the next day. I'm not saying that hearing is the last thing to go because I'm not sure, but I think that might be true. I feel that might be true. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out someday. We're all going the same way. And this is a joy. This is a relief. This is not a sad moment to admit we are all finite. What would we do if we were eternal? As vampires and werewolves can be in fiction. What would we do? What a bore. To have it all figured out but not have the right meat suit to hang out in, to be a predator. Awful. Parkinsons is a predator. And as much as I hate the details of Parkinsons, I'm grateful for its humbling effect. I'm grateful that I have what I now call wisdom of experience, of true suffering. So I can look out into the world and think in a logical way, use critical thinking, and really feel the suffering of others as well. And then forgive and reach out to help whenever possible. To have meaning and purpose means, for me, that I'm helpful, that I'm useful. When we stop feeling useful, that's when things get a little dark. But I'm here to report. I'm here to exemplify that when you're deeply wounded and suffering, you can still be of use. I have a lot of things I can do still, even if some days I can't move or walk or even get out of my own bed. It's like being underwater, in icy water. And the pool is freezing over. There's ice forming at the top. People are looking down into the pool saying, "What are you doing? Get out of there." And you're trying. Your mouth is open, but there's no noise coming out. So they just carry on and party. Later on, they walk over the ice. You can hear their heels clicking. Click, click, click. But you're underneath. You can barely breathe. And they wave. They don't know what to do. And nor do I. That's what it feels like to have these fits 8 to 10 times a day where you can't move for an hour. That's what it feels like. The world goes on. I'm the kid looking out the window while the other kids are playing sometimes. And that is not a story. That is absolutely a feeling, an emotion, a state. Or I could flip it and say, I'm in here. I'm being stilled so that I can do some research and deeper work. So now I get up every morning and I meditate. And before bed I pray and meditate. And that's what's keeping me up. Up as in my mood is feeling joyful, grateful, generally happy. Even though there's some really bad stuff happening to my body, like the werewolf comes in and there's nothing I can do. And I want to protect my carers and the people around me too, because it can be rough. I'm so in love with life. And I love you. Thanks for listening. By the way, you're pretty cool. I don't care what they say about you. Have a good day.